Alright, so blue light day at Thorpe Park. You guys can probably tell why a lot of people aren't happy with the queues and the ride breakdowns, especially being Hyperia, which we spent all day waiting for it to be open. So that's how we only got one ride. But the queues were mental. So we're going to go through the entire day and see how it all went down. How it started. So we first arrived at Thorpe Park and our first impressions were that it looked really quiet, but slowly it built up with people, of course. But we immediately headed over to Right, let's not start there. As you can see, Hyperia broke within the first 10 minutes of the park being opened. We thought it would be a quick little fix like they did last week during the pass holders day. However, you would find out it wouldn't be. We were eventually asked by the Hyperia staff to leave the queue. We didn't expect to be given anything, but we were given a Hyperia fast track, as you can see in the video. We were very surprised they did Hyperia fast tracks and they were giving it out to us. We thought we'd be able to use it later on, which, why would you be here watching the video? We didn't use it later, it was closed all day. We waited outside of Hyperia's queue line, where we saw these engineers having a look at Hyperia. You would think Hyperia would be back up and running, but you could probably guess what's going to happen again. You could probably guess. You know what? I'll just show you the video. Yep, you guessed it correct. Hyperia breakdown again, on the lift hill. Thankfully, we were about to go for lunch, so it wasn't a massive issue, but we also saw the engineers actually under Hyperia sorting it out, as you can see here. We then decided to go on our only ride today, Stealth. Stealth, as honestly, it sorted my day out a lot more, to be fair. Honestly, it was amazing, absolutely amazing. I'm just gonna let the video roll. We then thought it would be a great idea to return back to Hyperia. Look what we found across the way. Colossus was broken. We eventually got back to Hyperia, which was, it was stuck again. They did, however, get Hyperia back up and running again, as you can see. We also did see how they had to stop it to replace a wheel or sort it out. We also got to see the engineers put this cool metal thing above the track, which we don't know what it's about. Sorry, why is it going so slow? Guess what happens next? Does it get stuck? Oh. Yeah. Again. It eventually did move, but it got stuck. Even higher. A little while later, we heard someone screaming that, yep, every ride closed. Literally, as you could see, every ride except from The Walking Dead was closed. We knew nothing about it, and then we overheard some staff saying it was about lightning, which I will show you where it was heading over in a moment. But this was my reaction. So this was the reason why every ride closed, because we had a bit of lightning coming over, but we had no rain or lightning either, which was a tiny bit annoying. This happened at about 3:30 in the afternoon, meaning it was an hour and 30 minutes until the parks closed. It was quite surprising the amount of people that stayed, because the ride queues was still crazy. Eventually every ride did open, except from Hyperia, of course. We did decide to leave at 4:30, 30 minutes before the parks closed, so we didn't get stuck in traffic. This brings us here now. The overall visit of Thorpe Park was actually okay. It was quite nice watching the engineers work on Hyperia. However, the rides the other way were not. At least 4 were closed every hour, with the others being over 30 minutes, which was a ridiculous time to wait. Were you at Thorpe Park today? Did you have a different experience? Let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.